Assalamu alaikum. You are listening to Radio Sada Hurriyat Jammu Kashmir. I am Ibn Salam with Kashmir Update. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference and other Hurriyat leaders and organizations have strongly condemned the indiscriminate firing by Indian troops on the civilians at Sopore in Baramulla and the killing of 3 innocent people yesterday. They urged the United Nations to prevent the genocide of Kashmiris by India in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. According to Kashmir Media Service, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference spokesman, in a statement issued in Srinagar, said that Indian occupation forces have let loose a reign of terror in the territory. He said arbitrary detentions, molestation of women, and vandalizing of residential houses are used as a permanent war strategy to suppress the legitimate and peaceful movement for right to self-determination of the Kashmiri people. Meanwhile, forceful anti-India demonstrations and protests continued against yesterday's massacre in Sopore. People came to the streets and raised high-pitched anti-India and pro-freedom slogans. They asked New Delhi to leave the territory and expressed Kashmiri's determination to continue their struggle till India ended its illegal occupation. The Kashmir Media Service, in an analytical report released today on Sopore massacre, said that despite imposition of curbs and restrictions, huge participation by the Kashmiris in the funeral of 3 martyred civilians in Sopore and eruption of anti-India protesters is an illustration that Kashmiris are solidly behind the ongoing freedom movement. The report pointed out the Sopore killing is among 30 major massacres carried out by Indian troops in the occupied territory since 1989 to instill fear among the Kashmiris. However, the report maintained that these massacres have always backfired and triggered massive anti-India protests. Other Hurriyat leaders and organizations, including Maulvi Bashir Ahmed Irfani, Bilal Ahmed Siddiqui, Mukhtar Ahmed Waza, Javed Ahmed Mir, Jahangir Ghani Bhatt, Jammu Kashmir Democratic Freedom Party and Jammu Kashmir National Front, in their statements while condemning the killings, said that despite the oppression, India could not extinguish the spirit of freedom from the hearts of Kashmiri people. They urged the United Nations Secretary General to come forward for settlement of the long-pending Kashmir dispute in accordance with the United Nations Security Council resolutions. On the other hand, posters have again appeared in Srinagar and adjoining areas to record protest against the Indian illegal occupation of Jammu and Kashmir, killings and detention of women by Modi-led fascist Indian government. The posters, inscribed with pictures of women detainees Asya Indrabi, Fahmida Sofi and Nahida Nasreen and pallet victim Isha Tariq, urged people to raise their voice in unison for freedom. The posters were displayed by a women organization, Banat-e-Kashmir. A protest demonstration was held outside Press Club in Muzaffarabad, Azad Jammu Kashmir against the Sopore killings. The protest was organized by Pasbani Hurriyat Jammu and Kashmir. In Washington, Congresswoman Chrissy Holohan, during a congressional hearing on democracy in the Indo-Pacific, raised the issue of Kashmir and expressed concern over the way Kashmiris are treated by India in illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. During the hearing, a top U.S. official also raised serious concern over human rights violations in India, including illegal detention of rights activists and journalists. And this is for now. Have a good night and keep listening Radio Sada Hurriyat Jammu Kashmir.